He stampers is the pampered stamper, and I just couldn't stay out of my stamp room. I'm supposed to be packing, and I have been packing. I've been making progress, and I bought all kinds of boring things for my house, like towel bar holders and toilet paper holders and one nice mirror. But I wanted to show you something to do with your framelits and that you can emboss with them. So last night we made this home project, and this thing is like the O, and you can interchange them. There's Velcro backing on them, and that's really cool because then you can change it up. And so one of the things that we did was we made this one, and you can see the leaves in here are much nicer than in my original because I actually used my framelits and I inked them up, and then I ran them through the embossing folder. I mean, not the embossing folder, you'll see. My words are not good today. So I'm going to flip this thing over now, and down we go, and hopefully it will work. Pardon me while I peer underneath to see. Okay, that's good. All right, so you can see that I'm using these framelits. So I'm using a detailed framelit, and I'm using the open framelit. So I'm going to start. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to see. Okay, this is pretty good. All right. So new ink pad. Hold firmly. There's a little divot along the sides. Hold firmly, and then straight up and down. So it's like a compact, straight up and down, and then push it into place. This is the first one I ever had, and I was so excited about it. But when I got it open, I got my fingernail right in there and got a divot in it. So things can happen. You do get used to new things. So I'm taking the framelit and I'm pressing it right into my ink pad. And then push it up a little, and then you've got a handle. And then I'm going to lay it on here. I'm going to try to do 2 at a time. And then I'm going to take it with Old Olive, and I'm going to take the big leaf and flip it up and lay it on here. Okay, now I'm going to use the Big Shot, and this is the embossing thing that I was telling you about. So there's a little platform, it's hard white, there's a thin rubber mat, and there's a thick rubber mat. Now I haven't played with the thick one yet, but the thin one seems to work just fine. So you lay them together on your Big Shot platform, nothing else, just the platform. And then this, and it's going to go in your Big Shot. And I'm just going to gently move this over. I'm going to slide the Big Shot into play here. And now this is important. I don't want this to move. It's going to go on here. I probably should have done them singly, but I'm stubborn. So here we go. They're both on the Big Shot. And then we put a clear plate over top. Down it goes. And we're going to crank it through. Oh, I'm bumping into things. And it honestly feels like nothing is happening, okay? But clearly, look at that. It did happen. It's beautiful. So now we're taking those off, and we're going to put the Big Shot back together the way it should go. So with the thin die adapter, now mine is looking pretty awful because people have used it in the wrong way without a plate. That's okay. Now a clear plate. And now we're going to take this one, just a minute, and this one, and we're going to use the open framelits. And with this leaf, there's 2 different sides. There's a bit of an open, and there's, so you got to think carefully how this goes. Yeah, goes like that. You could also use the magnetic platform with this too, and it would hold them in place, but I didn't feel like it. These don't really move around too much. I hope it doesn't make a liar out of me. Okay, so, and I don't have to shove it in all the way, as long as it's covering what I need. There we go. Give it a push. And through it goes. And I'm going to be lazy and not do it back. Oh gosh, this is what happens when I get spazzy. All right, now let's take a look. See how pretty that is? So detailed. So you've got the embossed feeling of it, and you've got some color. So those embossing mats are a great way to double the investment of your framelits. And if you ink them up, you're really tripling them because you're using them as a stamp, as an embossing folder, and as a framelit. So I wanted to show you something else. This is the star. That beeping sound means my coffee is ready. I'm using Star of Light, which is a lovely stamp set from last year. And I'm going to use this framelit and a scrap of grid paper and the Vegas shimmer paint. This is Vegas Gold. I'm just going to put the lid back on and give it a shake. And I actually want a fair bit in the lid, so hopefully it didn't disappoint me. Okay, so I've got some of the paint in there, and I'm using a dauber. And actually, I'm not sure if that's enough. Then I'm going to daub it all over my framelit. I shared a post about this morning. I'm going to pour a little bit in here. I need a little bit more. I like just having a little bit because you don't want it making a mess, but if you don't have enough, it won't work. So just there. I shared a post this morning with the snowflakes, and somebody from Texas, a demo from Texas, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She did this with the snowflakes, and I thought, oh, what a good idea. And I was going to do it, and then I realized I've just given my snowflakes to Yvonne because she's going to prep class for me. So I thought, Jackie, there is something else you can use. Okay. So now I'm going to put that on some Whisper White thick cardstock. There we go. Stay. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my lid on, and this is a mess. I am a messy girl. It's not on properly, but you can't see that, and it's out of the way. So we're just going to pretend that I did a good thing. I'm just wiping my fingers so I don't get gold everywhere. Now we're going to move the Big Shot back into play. And I think I lost a glass sheet, but I only need one. So Big Shot platform, embossing base, blue matte. See, here, let's straighten you out a little bit. And then carefully, I'm going to put my white star on here. There we go. And clear plate. And let's have a look. So it's nice to use the shimmer paint as a portable ink pad with your sponge daubers. Let's have a peek, see. Look at that. So that's really neat. It's got the detail, it's got a bit of shimmer. Now with the shimmer paint, that does take a little bit longer to dry than our ink. So I cut one out already to show you. And then not today, but I will make a card with this. Maybe if I get sick of packing, I'll sneak back in here. Okay, so here I am again. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to give more life to your products and to find more than one use for them. So I hope you enjoyed that. And tomorrow I'll show you how to make the card with the deer that you guys were talking about. Have a super day.